Okay, guys. So today we're going over underreporting. So it's a big part of people's kind of weight loss journeys is we're affected massively by underreporting the actual amount of foods we're eating a day. We're going to kind of look into that and a few different things that are affecting it and ways that we can kind of counteract that. So we are inherently biased to believe we eat less than we actually do and that we perform more exercise than we actually do. It's just something that we kind of do. We don't purposely do it. It's just that we always think, oh, I probably burnt 1,000 calories there in that gym session, when actually you probably not even burnt half of that. In the same way with the food, I've only eaten like 1,000 calories today, and you might have even eaten two, three times that. So we're going to look further into this. Your body doesn't care if you want to look better naked. It just doesn't. You've got to have more confidence. If you want to have more confidence or drop a belt size, it only cares for survival. So it doesn't know the difference between you wanting to go to Ibiza in 12 weeks' time, you want to get in shape, or the difference to world famine, and the idea that there's no food available. It then thinks, right, okay, I've got to survive here, and it makes life hard for you. So it's a bit of a pain, really. So what we're doing here is we've got a chart here which shows what you think you're eating. So in a day that you're at like 2,000 calories, you've given yourself about a 500 calorie deficit. That's roughly what you think is going on. And then this next chart is going to progressively get bigger when we add sauce and oils that you didn't take into account. Drinks, so things like coffee, tea, cokes, just anything that's got calories in it that you drink. Just overall portion control, so thinking you've only eaten 100 grams of rice when actually you've eaten 200. And just forgotten food, just things in a day that you haven't meant to forget. Like if you're logging it in our tracking app or MyFitnessPal or whatever, you will forget to put stuff in if you're just doing a food diary. And we're only human, but the more that happens, the more of this deficit we're eating into, and that'll just gradually vanish until the point of actually we might even overeat just because of these things here, the things that we haven't accounted for. It makes a massive difference. And it's usually this reason. So people sort of say to us, I can't lose weight, I'm dieting, I'm sticking to the plan, I'm doing this and that. But when we actually speak to them and say, well, what about dipping your finger in the peanut butter and having a bit, or if you have a fish finger off your kid's plate or some chips, like things like that, even though it's just that one off, if that happens 3 or 4 times a day, you're talking 15, 16 times a week. That can be a lot of calories. And then if you have a bad weekend as well, then there's a good chance you're going to put weight on that week. So people don't mean to cheat or lie, they're just unknowingly non-adherent. They don't realise that they're not sticking to the plan. We will underreport even when we know that this can be verified. Like if you know that you're overeating, if it's something that you know is an issue, like come and speak to us, like myself, Carla, Adam, whatever. Like don't worry about that. We're not going to shout at you for it. Like we'll just try and lay out what we need to do, how you need to kind of get better at it, and just a bit more honesty with yourself and us, and you will benefit from that. It's just putting it into practice and just trying to be quite strict with yourself, to be honest. We looked at there's some studies and they found that actually like dietitians, so people who are more qualified than us, still underreport by like 220 calories a day, even though they know everything about food. That's if they would just sort of say, yeah, I've eaten about whatever, they would actually think they've eaten 220 calories less than they have. We did like a twin study, people kind of eating the same style diet, and there was actually 764 calories a day difference, which again is massive. Like that's like potentially half of some of your allowances of food a day. Some studies, it has been found that people overeat by 2,000 calories in a day, and just think actually I haven't eaten that much today, but everything you've eaten is quite calorie dense. It's stuff that you're not really that full of, and you kind of just draw a line under it and just go, ah, that didn't happen. Like that can seriously add up. Um, Sadly, women tend to underreport more than men. I don't really know why. Potentially the kind of emotional eating side of things, potentially looking at like your cycle and things like that can make you crave food more. So potentially that's what it is. But if you know you are one of these people, then you need to kind of figure it out and go from there. I did actually want to put a video into this part here, but YouTube won't let me upload it, so you just can watch this through the app. Basically, it's a woman, I think she's a celebrity, I don't know who she is, but she's always said her whole life that she had a slow metabolism, when actually when they do all the tests and things like that, she's just underreporting her food by anything from 1,000 up calories a day. And she's absolutely none the wiser to it. And again, it's not that she's doing it on purpose and that it's she's bad for doing that, but she needs to be a lot more mindful of her food and what she's putting into her in a day. I'm going to put it in the Facebook group so you can actually watch it, but I would have liked it to be playing now, but sadly we can't. And that last one there, the obese tend to underreport man more than the non-obese. Probably a good reason why they kind of carry more energy, more body fat, is because they're actually eating more than they think they are. It's not just with food that we do this. Discrepancy between self-reported and actual calorie intake and exercise. So it's actually found that we think we exercise a lot more than we actually do. We think we burn more calories. So in this study, group one, there was 9 women and 1 man who were classed as weight loss resistant. So basically had a slower metabolism. 67 in group two, 67 women and 13 men with no history of diet resistance. In group one, the metabolism and expenditure was within 5% of predicted, with no difference between group one and two. So they're not really a massive difference in actual overall metabolism. But this shows you here, like the resistant group, so the people who classed themselves as with slow metabolisms, thought that they did 1,022 calories, burnt 1,022 calories a day in an exercise session, when actually they only burnt 771. And in comparison to the what you say normal people who didn't class themselves as in slow metabolism, reported 1,066, and they actually only did 877. So both are quite far off. But as you can see, the people who thought they had a slower metabolism and it found didn't actually just burnt. Well, actually, they thought they'd burnt 120 calories more during a gym session, so they probably ate more following on from that. So it's just something that, and it showed here, yeah, as well. So the group one, so the people who thought they had a slow metabolism, they underreported the calories by over 1,000 in a day. So like so they thought they ate 1,028, but actually they ate 2,000, and that's mega. That's a lot, especially to think you've burnt 250 calories more yourself as well. The failure of these obese subjects to lose weight while eating a diet they report as low in calories is due to energy intake substantially higher than reported and an overestimation of physical activity. So as we just said, they think they're moving more, they think they're eating less, when actually they're not, and that tends to be one of the reasons that they're putting weight on. So now that you're aware of it, you can start to plan for it. So if got to start looking at recording your foods with a diary or using our food app so that we can actually track your calories, having a look at how you're doing in a day. You've just got to be honest with it. I think one of those things that people find that they get stressed out with it because they overcomplicate it. Like if you eat a chocolate bar for your breakfast, put it in and just fit your day around it instead of eating a chocolate bar for breakfast, pretend it didn't happen, and then finishing at your calories at what you're supposed to at the end of the day, but you've eaten a 200-300 calorie chocolate bar, and you only person that's not benefiting from that is you. Take photos of your meals to check the accuracy of your recall. So every time you eat, take a photo. It stops you kind of forgetting that you've eaten something. And then just shoot lower on your calorie estimates, as we know we tend to overeat. So if you're just sort of ad-libbing in a day as how many calories you're having, always shoot lower, a couple hundred less. Actually, I've probably eaten. Sorry, you've probably eaten like the 2,000 when actually you probably actually had the 1,800. It just gives you a bit more leeway in case you have got it wrong. So next week next session we're going into have you got a slow metabolism, which ties in nicely with what we just talked about. If you've got any questions, fire them into the group or on the app, and I'll fire that video that I wanted to show you into the group so you can actually watch that. And if you're watching this in a few months' time, give me a shout and I'll reshare that for you. Cheers, guys.